Okay, we are back live in effect. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this weekly update. My name is Rainey. I'm the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, New York, and I am joined by our awesome city manager on this 28th day of September in 2021, Mr. Andy Stewart. Andy, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Mayor. It's great to see you.
Great to see you too, man. I want to say thank you again for being consistent with these meetings with me and keeping me on my toes as well, making sure that we give the people a weekly update on what's going on COVID. So for all of you who are out there, if this is your first time watching us, what we're doing is we're giving a weekly update every Tuesday afternoon on where the city of Peekskill is with the COVID numbers, and now in addition to that, with where we are with vaccination percentages and any next steps or new initiatives the city is creating or policies. We've also decided to add some more information onto these weekly updates by giving you some more information on what's going on in the city of Peekskill with some interesting announcements or activities, events, and other things that we just thought would be worth your time of sharing. So I'll start off as we do every week with Andy giving you the COVID update.
All right. So we got one number that goes up and one number that goes down. The one that goes, actually, they're both going up, to tell you the truth, but one of them was good, one of them was bad. The bad one is the increase in the positive cases in the city. We're up to 74, according to Westchester's County Health Department data portal. That's up from 72, going back to 50 cases earlier this month. So the numbers are steadily climbing. Not a really steep curve, but definitely increasing on the case rate with that Delta variant circulating. On the flip side, our vaccination rate is climbing too. It's great to see it clocking in at 76.7% a couple of days ago, according to Westchester. That's up from, I'll just pick a number from, say, early August, it was 67.5%. So it's gone up 10% since the beginning of August. So that's good to see that improvement taking place. And of course, last night, the city council was talking about supporting vaccination promotion in the city with a contract with a group that can do outreach on that and continue to encourage people to stay safe, use their masks, obviously, and consider getting vaccinated if you haven't yet.
Absolutely. Well, that's interesting to know. And I do want to say thank you to Mike Miner and as well as yourself for the hybrid meeting that we had yesterday. It was pretty successful. There's maybe some minor glitches towards the beginning or at the beginning of the meeting, but for the remainder of the meeting after that presentation from the first group, which was about the COVID, excuse me, initiative and outreach that they're planning on doing, that the city is agreeing to do as well. It was a pretty smooth meeting.
Yeah,
So
I thought so
thank
too.
you all.
The audio came through pretty well. We're able to see people on screen and the council members who were coming in remotely for various reasons were able to do that. Of course, the state, fortunately passed a law enabling city councils to meet remotely and also have a hybrid meeting where some of you are in the room, some of you are remote, and the public actually can comment remote as well. So, but we had a good full room last night. People interested in participating in various policy issues. So, but yeah, I thought it worked pretty well. It was a little stressful for staff, making sure that we had all the computer stuff. And actually, right before the meeting started, one of the laptops we were using went into shutdown and update mode. It's like 15%, 29%. And we're like, no, the meeting's about to start. It's just like these things can happen. Our lives are so kind of enmeshed with technology these days.
Yeah, you never know.
Something that comes up that has to be managed like that. So
Never know. I know that feeling. I've had the DJ events in the past where you get to the location, you set everything up, and you're ready to start, and it says computer updating. It's like no, no. So I know the feeling, but I'm really glad that you guys made it work yesterday. And I haven't received any emails yet thus far of any complaints or any issues other than like I said, glitches that we had at the very beginning for the presentation. One of those glitches were actually the lady's computer went mute. So, but that being said, you did mention the presentation. They're looking to create opportunities for more outreach and education on COVID and the vaccinations and where people can go to get vaccinated if they haven't. Some of the information about the effects of the vaccine, how effective it is, how safe it is, so on and so forth. We're looking to collaborate with different organizations locally to try to get the information out to the people, the factual information out to the people who are interested in learning.
one of the things we find about public health is that when you have a diverse community, people get information in very different ways. And one of the most important things is that they can see people they trust talking about public health. And so one of the purposes of this contract is to actually develop some small videos by local leaders saying why it makes sense to get vaccinated in particularly in English and in Spanish, and so that people who are looking at those videos can kind of see someone that they can understand. Um, Public health is really affected by the circumstances of each individual. Each person choosing to get vaccinated is good for overall public health for obvious reasons, given it's a contagious disease. But those decisions are very personal, and we want to encourage people to take full advantage of all the information that this agreement can provide. There's some great activities that happen with pop-up vaccination sites. New York Presbyterian collaborated with the city early in the pandemic with the Kylie Center vaccination. Took a huge amount of work to put that together with support from the state. Sun River has done some great work. The NAACP has done outreach events promoting vaccination. So it's great to see those numbers climbing. We just got a little ways to go.
Absolutely. Peekskill City School District and a few others.
Sure.
Deputy Mayor McKenzie held something recently too, I believe. So there's a lot of different organizations doing.
And the local pharmacies obviously are playing a critical role. So, we're encouraging when we have this group in place. They're called Neighbors Link. We're going to help them reach out to local businesses that might have groups of employees and their families who are looking for a little extra support getting vaccinated. So
I hear that. So good to know, the city is prioritizing it. I know there were some questions last night at the actual council meeting of why the city is investing in educating the community on vaccines and outreach. So I think, as I mentioned last night, it's definitely a priority of this community to make sure people are fully aware of COVID, the impacts it has had on people, as well as the vaccinations and where it's available for people to get. Mm-hmm. So thank you. So moving right along, our city manager, Andy, did state that last night there were a lot of people there for a lot of different policy issues. And I just wanted to comment on agenda items and talk about some of the issues that they were facing in the city of Peekskill. Sure. But a lot of people were also there to congratulate. I want to re-congratulate today our new police chief, Mr. Deluski. Chief Deluski. He is officially the chief of police now. I want to say congratulations to him and his entire family and friends and all of the support team that attended the meeting last night in recognition of his appointment. And thank you to Chief Hami once again. He is officially moved on, but he will always have a place here in the city of Peekskill's heart. So but congratulations to Chief Deluski, and I wish you nothing but success. Your success is the city's success.
Yep, no, it's great to see him there with his family, and it's such an honor to be appointed police chief, and it's a huge responsibility that I know he takes very seriously, and he's quite ready for it. So it's an exciting time to be working with him, so especially as we move forward with the police reform agenda. We have a long checklist, a lot of projects underway, and some big things we need to tackle. As soon as we have a little bandwidth with the city council, we got to get to that community complaint review board policy, which I anticipate maybe in November, bringing that to the council to get that policy conversation going. Mm-hmm. I wanted to mention other policy matters that came before the council last night. Some zoning work, the adoption of a law that enables the businesses in the C3 commercial district to have martial arts studios. It's funny, there are other kinds of businesses that were allowed that were basically the same, but because the martial arts wasn't mentioned, it had to be put in there, which made sense. So, one of the things people need to know is that our zoning law is a living document. It gets updated based on community needs and kind of what's the market is bringing, what makes sense in terms of services and so on. Let's see. Wanted to mention we had 2 hearings actually, and these are small things, but this is the work of taking care of the city. For example, just changing our outdoor dining law, just so restaurants can have outdoor heaters that were prohibited until now. Had a public hearing on that. Obviously, nobody opposed that because we want our restaurants that have outdoor dining to be able to go as late into the cooler temperatures as possible. We just have to make sure that they have a good fire code compliant outdoor heater. So we're looking at changing the law to enable them to do that.
There you go.
Another one that was looked at was this question of snow abatement. there's a problem, and some property owners simply don't remove the snow from their sidewalks, and
At all.
the building
This
department.
is not for those of you that do it. This is not
Yeah,
an
thank
attack.
you
I
for
know
those who
some people
do
were
it.
saying it was an attack. No,
Thank you.
for
And a
those of
lot
you
of
that do it,
people
we thank
do.
you.
A lot of people do, which is great. But the city council had said to the staff, listen, we want to be able to act more quickly and decisively when there's a hazard out there, and we don't want to slip and falls. And so we have an amended code that was for public hearing last night. I don't think anybody really, maybe one person commented on it, which basically makes it a little easier for the city to enforce that code. And also it gives a little bit of leniency, actually, expanding from 4 hours to 24 hours, the deadline for in residential areas. But in commercial areas where there's a lot of pedestrian traffic, people really got to get out there quickly after the snow stops and
Mhm.
start shoveling.
Beautiful.
We do appreciate the work that people do to keep the sidewalks clean.
That's without a doubt.
One of the things that I'm really excited about right now, Mayor, is our tree planting project. Speaking of sidewalks, there's nothing better than walking down a sidewalk that has nice shade trees and greenery on it. And unfortunately, there's about 50 tree wells throughout the city center. That's not good. Hold on. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, my dog was surprised when Cassandra came in here. Brought my dog to work.
It's all right.
He was
Mute,
napping.
mute next time. I'll take over. Just mute next time.
I'll have to apologize to her. So, but yeah, so fortunately, Chappie Manzer, everybody knows Manzer's landscape company, in memory of his mom, Christine Brasbeck, donated 11 trees, cherry trees and maple trees on North Division as they come down from Monument Park. It's just going to be wonderful. You can see them out there. They were working on that last week. We made a little video about it, which people can click on or they can watch on the government channel. Councilwoman Talbot and Mackenzie came out to join that kind of tree ceremony in a sense. Kay Barthelmess from the Conservation Advisory Committee was there. DPW guys were there. Help them plant trees. It's a beautiful thing. Get those trees in the ground, keep them watered, and the sidewalks are so much more pleasant to walk down.
Yeah, that's a great initiative.
We've got a lot more of that work to do. There's a lot of empty tree wells in the city center. I found about 50 of them, and we're working on kind of gearing up for the fall, planting some more this fall, and then going into next year, really investing in trees.
Right. So that's that. All great news. Looking forward to all of it. As all of you are pretty or should be aware, not already. We are going to be beginning our budget discussions over the next 4 weeks. To see where the city of Peekskill stands financially and what we can prepare for the year 2022. I do want to thank the staff again for working diligently to keep us, almost close to normal financially as we could possibly be during such a crazy pandemic.
Yeah, it has been a crazy couple of years.
Yeah,
the city is doing okay, and we're proposing to fill some positions that were left vacant during the pandemic, for example, that are really needed. I mean, the city infrastructure absolutely needs investment. Actually, coming to you next week, Mayor, we're going to be looking at another grant writing project for our water lines, our hydrants, and our valves that are desperately need to be upgraded. The city has 4-inch water lines, and it's like the arteries on somebody who's been eating Big Macs their whole life. I mean, they're all, the 4-inch line may have 1 inch or 2 inches of actual clearance on the inside for the water to go through. Fortunately, our water, it works. We have pressure in our hydrants, but it's in some places it's not as good as it could be. And this system is old and needs to be invested in. So we're going to be talking about that in our next cycle of meetings.
And nothing against McDonald's. I don't want anybody to twist your words around and say you hate McDonald's or something crazy later.
I know.
You got to be careful every day.
My mom never let me go to McDonald's.
So this is all great information. And again, to the people who are watching, our committee of the whole meeting, I believe, is going to be fully virtual. I don't know if the council is actually.
Yeah, the council said it wants to do the committee of the wholes virtual, so that's easy to people.
Yeah, so all of our committee of the whole meetings will be held virtual, and the common council meetings where public can comment or make suggestions or recommendations. Those meetings will be held publicly, in person and hybrid, where people can actually come to the meeting in person, or you can join us virtually and view the meeting, comment, or make any suggestions during the time we before prior to when we vote on the agenda items, or if you have an issue that's not on the agenda, you can speak right after we vote on agenda items on any issue you'd like to speak on. So
Well, while we're talking about hot topics, Mayor, I just want to remind people that on October 12th, we're having a public hearing on the whole cannabis dispensary policy
yes,
question.
definitely. Give
This
me
is a
1
law
second.
that the state of New York passed, which legalizes recreational marijuana, obviously, along with businesses that sell it. And the city council may opt out of having those dispensaries in the city of Peekskill if it so chooses, and is promoting October 12th, a public hearing for people to come and talk to the council about that policy question. Obviously, there are pros and cons. There are strong feelings on both sides, and a fair amount of information available online for anybody who's interested in this issue. But on October 12th, we're having a public hearing. The city council set that. There's been an online survey rolling for probably 5 months now or more. The responses tend to trend towards allowing the dispensaries, about 2 to 1, basically. And that survey is still open right now. But it'll be an interesting kind of policy question. I know that the council itself is making up its mind individually as to what is in the best interest of the city.
Yeah. Now, I just want to add to pardon me, eating lunch. The people out there who are fully aware of the survey, there are still a lot of people saying that they didn't know about it, they didn't see it, they didn't hear about it. So if you know people that are interested in this topic, please share the information. Let them know the council's holding this public hearing soon. You can attend this way. We try to post everything on our social media page. We post everything on our city website. We do these weekly updates every Tuesday afternoon, which goes on YouTube, city website, government channel, and social media. And it seems that we're still not reaching everyone that apparently wants to be reached. So encourage your friends to go to these platforms to find information on the city of Peekskill. We've been saying it for a pretty long time now. But if you really want information on what the city of Peekskill is doing, you have to go to where the city of Peekskill provides their information. And again, we're tapping into social media. We're using our city website, we're using our government channel, we're even using YouTube now. So please, if you're looking for information on the city of Peekskill, try looking at one of those platforms to get a little bit more information. If anyone's having any issues with any of those platforms, just reach out to us, let us know, so we can just give you the information ourselves.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mayor. We do work hard to get information out, but of course, there's always someone out there who misses something. People are always welcome to call City Hall or email me, and if they have a question about anything related to city operations, for sure.
Yep. So, well, Andy, how we looking on questions or?
I'll be honest with you, Mayor. My Facebook isn't showing. I'm having trouble actually seeing the video on Facebook to see what anybody might be commenting or anything like that. It's an odd thing. Sometimes I can't see it. So I don't know if you can see on your Facebook page any questions that might be coming up.
Yeah, I'm checking now.
I apologize for that. It's just it's frozen or something or other.
No, I don't even see the actual. Nothing thus far. I can't see the link either now. Hold on, just went away.
Yeah, so apologize for that. There may be a glitch here. So not being able to see it online, I think we should wrap up and maybe we can have Mike Minor take a look at this and edit it out.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Andy, thanks again. And for those of you who are watching or who will get to watch, thank you for tuning in. Please share this information. And if there's anything that you'd like to know about that the city can discuss, if we don't discuss it at the common council meeting or the committee of the whole meetings, and you'd like me and Andy to share, we'll be glad to. Email us at our city email addresses, Rainey@cityofpeekskill or Stewart@cityofpeekskill.com, and we'll get it to you as soon as possible. Other than that, have a great afternoon. Thanks again. Same time next week.
Thank you, Mayor. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
You too, man.